Good morning. We're here today at the Connection Center and outreach of the Community Development for All People. We're speaking with Don Leonard. Don, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name's Don Leonard. My wife and I moved to Columbus about 8 years ago and down here to the south side about, 5 years ago now. And we got involved with the Church and Community Development for All People organization. And we did a project as part of our Southside Leadership Academy where we got together and had an opportunity to help decorate the walls of their brand new Connection Center. And so myself and a few of my teammates got to do a few projects, and this one's mine.
Thanks, Don. I know you have a great story around peacemaking. Tell us
Mhm.
more about peacemaking.
Yeah, well, I think this event we had 2 nights ago over at the main worship space really kind of illustrates the tensions around community policing and conflict resolution here on the South Side. We had a group of city councilors talking to us about some important changes they've made to the 911 system. Now, when you call 911, apparently it asks you, are you having a mental health crisis? Are you having a health crisis like an overdose? Or do you need a badge and gun public safety officer to respond to this call? And then, based on the 911 caller's response, they dispatch the appropriate professional. I think this is a wonderful step in the right direction. But right after the city council member said that, somebody right off my right shoulder hollered back at the council member, "We don't call 911 down here." And I think there's a lot there. I think trust is a big part of it. And so one of the things that we wanted to do is to say, okay, if our community doesn't trust the Columbus Police Department to handle certain crises, what resources can we help direct ourselves to in order to resolve conflict and engage in peacemaking, rather than just leaving folks to fend for themselves? And that was really the inspiration for the posters that you see behind me.
Down behind you are some things that people can ask themselves before calling the police. Would you introduce us to that?
Yeah, absolutely. This is kind of a flow chart or a decision making tree to help us think through when a conflict comes upon us with a neighbor, how we might be able to go about resolving it. So, first we ask ourselves, is this simply an inconvenience, something we can just let slide? If it's not, how do you need to respond? And can you respond yourself, or do you need to involve a professional? And what we provided is a directory of Columbus City professionals related to mental health, youth, crime and conflict, domestic violence, sexual assault, substances, and LGBTQ issues that provide resources for our community members.
Thanks, Don. What would you ask our community members to do in response to more peacemaking?
I think our community members are already really good at peacemaking. They've been getting by without Columbus Police Department for quite some time. If anything, I think our ask is that the Columbus Police Department look upon efforts like this not as a threat or as a judgment of their role within our community, but more as an invitation to begin rebuilding trust and rebuilding the relationships that would allow them to become a constructive part of this conflict resolution process rather than simply another threat factor.